Hey guys, Thunderset here, showing you a new deck I'm really excited about. I saw something almost like this on the ladder and I wanted to recreate it. It's super strong. I added a little bit of my own flair to it too, and it uses first Monarch, Anguish Pattern, and Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. So we also use crazy stuff like Mystic Cats and regular stuff like Econ. So the skill we're running is Baggy Sleeves. Baggy Sleeves is actually really useful with monsters like Anguish Pattern and First Monarch. If you have Quantum Cat, it's a level 45 reward from Odeon. If you've leveled him up to 45, replace this Tiki Curse with Quantum Cat and he will trigger Baggy Sleeves. It's a much better monster. I do not have Quantum Cat yet. As soon as I do, this is going to be Quantum Cat. So just picture that as Quantum Cat. And we're running 3 Reactor Dragons because we're just going to get them out like crazy. We have a Breaker. He serves as both a monster for magical hats and something that can destroy our Gear Town on its own. Then we have 2 Werbins to search things like our Reactor. We have 3 Gear Towns, 2 Econs, 3 Anguish Patterns, and 3 First Monarchs. Now, where it gets crazy is magical hats. Anguish Pattern will count as a monster for magical hats. First Monarch will not. So don't try to just have your First Monarch out and use magical hats. You can do that with Anguish Pattern. You can't do that with First Monarch. So a play is bring out your Anguish Pattern by himself, magical hats in the battle phase, bring out your 2 Gear Towns. He goes back to being a spell card, to being a trap card, and these are the only 2 things left on the field. So it's really clean play. You know what First Monarch does, you just summon him, discard 1, you would pick Earth, then you'd have 2 Reactor Dragons, you'd be good. Or 2 tributes for a Reactor Dragon. Or let's just say you just have an Anguish Pattern or a Quantum Cat, you can just summon them, use your Gear Town, and then you can normal summon a Reactor Dragon from your hand for 1 less tribute. It all works out pretty well. Baggy Sleeves is crazy on this deck. They have to swing over your traps. You're getting Baggy Sleeves like crazy. You're drawing through your deck all the cards you need. It's a super strong deck, guys. Great use of the new traps. I hope you guys like it. It's super exciting. Thank you for watching. So a lot of this is like super nostalgic for me now that Red Eyes is back in the meta and I'm using Baggy Sleeves more consistently again. Because way back in 2018 when Red Eyes Slash was new, I was running that in KC Cut with Baggy Sleeves and spamming fusions, and it was great. I did pretty well. But here, Baggy Sleeves is just my favorite, guys. So let's see the duel. We're fighting Illumis and Umbra. Sick hand. This was back when I was running Castle. Eventually, I replaced Castle with the Werbins, as you can see. So we set the first Monarch, set an Econ, set an Anguish, use our Breaker, aim for a back row. It's an Econ. He sets us to defense. That's okay. Normal summons a Celestial, hits us with Drill Dark, then the Celestial. Now, I waited for the mask change. I could feel the delay, but he didn't use it and he was ending his turn. So here, I do the combo. You want to use whatever you want to use first, and then Anguish Pattern is second. I see people messing this up all the time. Comes out first, boom, then you get the effect. So you chain him second. Here, he chains his mask change to our spell. I don't know how he knew we were going to do that. That was pretty good. So we have an Econ. We get rid of our first Monarch. Send his Drill Dark to the graveyard with his Anki, do some damage. Now we have another Anguish Pattern. Triggers his effect, destroys the Anki. He activates Celestial, draws 2, has 2 back row, a Red Eyes Fusion now, bringing out a Slash Dragon. Absolutely crazy. Attacks into our Anguish Pattern, is going to equip an Anki. I don't think you can special summon an Anki with Red Eyes. I don't know if you know that. So there is our first Baggy Sleeves. Imagine that Tiki Curse is a Quantum Cat. Boom, he attacks our second Baggy Sleeves again. Boom, boom, there's our first Monarch. And imagine that Tiki Curse is another Werbin. Sorry this deck is so much different, but it's just 2 cards different, really. So, Baggy Sleeves for a 3rd time, guys. That's +3. We finally roll into our Reactor Dragon. Like I said, just imagine this is a Quantum Cat, either one of those. Use your Gear Town. Now he's just 1 tribute. We got our boy out. I'm gonna suicide into the Slash Dragon. because I still get my effect. I hit the Gear Town. Gear Town's gonna special summon another Reactor Dragon. Look at our deck, guys. We're 7 cards left in our deck. We're going crazy. We still have a Destruction left. Hit him for 3,000. He had no answer with all that back row, because you know how Reactor Dragon works. Probably has some Sphere Kribos or something. And just a crazy, crazy fast deck, guys. This deck is strong. This deck claps. First Monarch has tons of uses. Mystic Cats are perfect for all these traps. And Gear Towns, you save your resources. I love this deck, guys. Crazy stuff. So you can see from that last replay, this deck is going to trigger Baggy Sleeves like crazy, like so crazy. And it's just +1s for nothing. +1s for defending yourself. It's very, very fast. Very useful, guys. So here we go. First Monarch, Reactor Dragon, Gear Town, everything we need. We are fighting, looks like a Blue Eyes. So he's summoned a Dawn Knight. We're going to summon our first Monarch. Now this was kind of a mistake. I could have waited to summon the first Monarch on my own turn after I drew and just taken the 1400 damage, and then I would have had the option to make it Earth, discard whatever I just drew, make it Earth, normal summon my Reactor Dragon, set my Gear Town, attack, hit it, all that good stuff. You know how it goes. We're gonna do something similar. We set the 1, attack, hit the Gear Town. We're gonna do it a second time. Goes faster. So as you can see, this deck has OTK potential. It has crazy defense. You get through your deck super fast with Baggy Sleeves, and you have the protection of Anguish Pattern Destruction. You haven't even really seen all those plays, and then on top of all those plays, you have Magical Hats, which will just spam the board with Reactor Dragons. It's absolutely crazy, guys. So like you saw earlier, I was trying out different stuff, like running Castle. The only reason I was running Castle is because I really wanted Baggy Sleeves over Beatdown. But even without, Baggy Sleeves is just so good. You don't need that extra 3,000 damage. I found just suiciding my Ancient Gears are perfect, because that also triggers your Baggy Sleeves. When you suicide into another monster, it triggers Baggy Sleeves. So it's pretty crazy. So here we have a 3 set. Magical Hats, Anguish Pattern, and Tiki Curse. Imagine Tiki Curse is Quantum Cat. And I summon my Ancient Gear Wyvern after I set everything. Search a Reactor Dragon. That's pretty much all he's in the deck for, is searching Reactor Dragons. This is a weird kind of Ancient Gear deck that actually wants Reactor Dragons in its hand. So here, our boy sets 1. We're gonna do our play. We're gonna, remember, you summon something else first, and then Anguish Pattern chains. You gotta chain Anguish Pattern to it. You don't have to, you just have to use them second. So there, imagine that's a Quantum Cat, it worked. Here, we hit a Stone of Ancients. He brings out the Spirit of White. He's going to get rid of our Magical Hats. No sick Magical Hat plays yet. Fighting a Blue Eyes. So here, we're able to get rid of the Wyvern and the Tiki's Curse. That would really be a Quantum Cat, who's just 2200 defense and no attack. So Quantum Cat's just a big defense high monster to trigger Baggy Sleeves. But anyway, normal summon our Reactor Dragon. He uses his effect to special summon a Blue Eyes, as long as you have a monster and all that jazz. I was not able to attack with my Reactor Dragon to stop it, even though it is the battle phase. Now Reactor Dragon goes to stop it. Suicide. Now that's important. You saw me suicide. He sets 2. You know, what happens? Still get Baggy Sleeves from a suicide, guys. That's why you do it. Now look what I pulled into. Mystic Hats again. Now, remember what I said in the beginning. Anguish Pattern counts towards Magical Hats. So he counts as a monster towards Magical Hats. Here, he kills our Anguish Pattern. Oh well. We get another. That's all we need. Here, he's White Stones of the Ancients. A Blue Eyes back to his hand. He has 2 set cards, 1 set monster, and this little wolf who's already blown his shot. Here he uses Cosmo Brain. Cosmo Brain summons another Blue Eyes. How many Blue Eyes have we dropped at this point, guys? And we only have 3,000 monsters. Here, he uses Beatdown. He's got tons of damage. We use our Anguish Pattern. Now this is also a very important play. He's here using Treacherous Trap Hole. That's gonna let me use first Monarch. He freaks out when I use first Monarch and probably does something he shouldn't have done and takes control of my Anguish pattern, or I feel like it's a Karibo or something. He attacks, destroys my first Monarch, you know what that means, and then hits me for 3100 or 3700, down to 300 life, guys. Another Baggy sleeves. Our sleeves are so baggy. We get another Anguish pattern. That's gonna make our magical hats live. We still have an enemy controller. We're gonna survive these monsters, these giant monsters, right in the battle phase. We summon our Anguish pattern. Now, why do we do it in the battle phase? Magical hats requires you be in the battle phase, so it has to be in your opponent's battle phase. Choose 2 spell cards and 1 trap monster you get. Now watch. We activate mystical hat or magical hats, bring out the 2 gear towns. Now once it's done setting, our monster goes back to the field, so now they have 2. So he's counting on me summoning a Reactor Dragon in attack mode and getting killed by his Cosmo Brain. So I'm gonna act like I fall for the bait, when in reality I'm just gonna econ the Cosmo Brain anyway, so I can swing over him no problem with my Reactor Dragons, because he's at 3100. So they can't get over him unless he's in defense. So it saves me from the attack anyway. Second gear town dies automatically with magical hats. So even if they decide not to swing into your monsters, they're just gonna die at the end of the turn to summon both anyway. So I got 2 Reactor Dragons and a gear town and another econ. What more can you ask for? So we're searching for Karibo. We swing with our middle guy, destroy the Cosmo Brain. That means we're gonna have 3 Reactor Dragons on the field. One's already blown his attack. I see a juicy blue eyes out there. We have an econ. Let's go for it. We take out the guy who's attacked. Now we have 3 3k monsters swinging at nothing. This guy cannot survive this onslaught. Crazy fast stuff. Guys, this with baggy sleeves, these big trap monsters with baggy sleeves gets through your deck so quick. You bring out your boss monsters. The first deck was Meme and Obelisk, but you bring out these Reactor Dragons super quick. It's so strong, guys. Try this deck out. It's not quite free to play because obviously structure decks and all that stuff, but you should have all these traps, all this other stuff. Farm up Quantum Cat. It'll be great, guys. I love this deck. I wish I could duel way more with this deck and just have fun. It's great stuff, guys. Try it out, definitely. And thanks for watching, as always.